Hello, greetings, Petru Day, and welcome to the channel for another little bit serious video, but this one kind of gives a little context to why things happened the way they did and what my goal was. So I wanted to talk a bit on why, meow, why I pushed for getting diagnosis, and there's a couple complicated issues that occur within this story. So the story starts with my mother's neighbor. This guy really is an absolute piece of shit. He is such a piece of shit. He literally is somebody who has gotten away with murder. They literally let him off with a manslaughter and he literally killed the person. He the dog doesn't seem to be around anymore. A very wild, untrained, violent pit bull. And this dog, would constantly come on the property and try to attack everybody on the property, including children, elderly people, disabled people. And he wouldn't do anything. And honestly, they weren't doing anything in the town either when she was calling it in. And this thing literally tried to charge and attack my niece several times when she was literally just sitting in the yard. So, it tried to charge me when I was up a ladder working on trimming a tree for my mom to help with their property years ago. And this has been a constant issue and battle with them for a long time now. Because of his violent behavior, which I can't get into details on, there was a whole thing. And he went after trying to threaten my parents, all this other stuff, that he was going to do what he wanted with his dog, all this shit. My parents, who, during this time, they're a disabled elderly couple, and they're being threatened by a guy with a rampaging, wild, violent pit bull. And again, we can get into discussions on pit bulls and who thinks what about that. That's not this discussion. This dog was out of control, and this dog was violent, and it had no qualms on just randomly attacking anyone, including children, who were nowhere near him and minding their own business. This dog was a problem, and yes, part of it is how the animal is raised. However, once they get to the point where they have uncontrollable violence, how they're raised is no longer is not the only thing that matters there. They cannot be allowed to run free and cause public safety issues. So this situation continued for a long time, and I was in numerous run-ins with this guy because, unlike my parents, he was scared of me. There's a lot of context to this, and let's just say I don't pull punches at all. And I did flat out tell both him and the police that if that dog tried to attack my niece again, I would put it down. I meant that with every fiber of my being, and I don't take it back. And the police didn't do anything because they knew I had just had to chase this dog down with a garden hose, get it to stop trying to attack a little child. So, they knew that this was a serious situation. And we get through this situation, and we get through all this, and the police very much knew during this situation that I could not censor myself well, and the things I was thinking came out. Very, very, very much. So the small town cops, they didn't cause me issues with this, but they also didn't do enough either. There did come a point where my dad actually did shoot this dog, and I know there's context and battle people will have with that whole situation, but literally it tried to attack my mother from behind while she was gardening, and he had to, in order to keep it from killing her. So, and he cried his head off because my dad is this big softy who loves animals, and he tried a million ways to Sunday to get this guy to do something was this big softy. I still talk about him in present tense a lot. And wow, it was about 3 years ago we lost him. So this situation continued, and there was a legal battle involved with all of that. And yes, my dad absolutely won that legal battle, but they did not put the dog down, which they absolutely should have. The guy rampaged. He tried to break into their place. He tried to go after them. My dad had to get a weapon to protect himself from this guy who kept swearing he was going, even said in front of the cops that he was going to light their place up and kill them. There's context, and it's bad. And yeah, this was what I went through a lot of this with wow them. When we lost Dad, the day his obituary was printed, this guy started letting the dog loose again and trying to threaten Mom. The day his obituary was printed. So me and my mom gave him a message. My dad was the nice one. You don't want to mess with us. And we continued to fight. And we repositioned the house so that I was front and center between where he could try to mess with things and where Mom is. There's weird shit that's happened to my car when it was parked in this driveway not far from his place. There's other stuff. I swear to you, this guy is trying to act. Wow. And so I get through all this, and I finally come home again after helping my mom for a couple of years after my dad passed away. And the day I get home, I am trying to deal with getting the rental car unloaded and stuff set up to bring into the house so we can go drop off the rental car because our car is not big enough for everything we needed to transport on this trip. This trip also, wow, was part of going to see my husband's grandmother in another state who was going through cancer, and she's in her 90s now, and she's still going through this. She's been terminal for a while, and I was exhausted. I was mentally, physically worn out. I was still having nightmares of my mother's neighbor. And my new neighbor showed his face. You fucker. And I'm absolutely blown away that anyone could act this way to another human being. First of all, his dog, he lets run around the yard uncontrolled all the fucking time. And this dog tried to go into our garage and attack our stuff at our home. I don't care the size of the dog. Hell to the freaking no. And I'm allergic to dogs. It was literally going inside our garage and trying to go after my husband. Again, I have brain issues from growing up with seizures. I can't filter what I say. I have Tourette's. I did yell, keep your fucking dog in your yard. Valid. This guy proceeds to come into my yard, into my property with his uncontrolled dog and start screaming threats at my safety at me and talk about how he'll put me down. He refused to get off my property, refused to get his dog off my property repeatedly until we had to call police. I was literally sitting in the rental car crying. because of what I've been through with my mother's neighbor and the shit I've been through with violent dogs in my life. Ow, ow, ow. Wow. Fuck you. Fuck you. Wow. I recorded a video, and yes, I was yelling at this guy in this video. I was repeatedly telling him to get the fuck off my property. But he was standing on my property, and in this video, even as I said, you're standing on my property threatening my safety, and he's nodding in agreement saying he is. He's admitting it. Yo. He's, wow, admitting that he's doing this. So, okay. Okay. This is ridiculous beyond measure. This little female cop gets there, and I fucking hate this bitch. You shouldn't be a cop, and you should fucking choke on your words. And Minecraft YouTube, I'm saying words. I'm not talking about physical. She needs somebody to press charges on the way she treats people with disabilities. Bear in mind, this was in the middle of getting my official Tourette's diagnosis. I'd already done several of the appointments, and I was doing more in a few weeks. This was in the middle of getting the diagnosis. And we call them in, and we're both telling, he's been on our property threatening us because he wouldn't keep his dog off our property. Okay. And yes, when the dog came on my property, I said, keep your dog on your fucking property. Well, then you swore at him first. You instigated. I can swear on my property. And I'm not instigating somebody having a right to come on my property and threaten my life and my safety because I say a swear word. Are you freaking kidding me? You need therapy. And talk about victim blaming. I mean, really, talk about victim blaming. The guy's in the video admitting that he threatened me. Admitting he was on doing this to me. The video shows him on my property with his loose dog. And she's still telling me it's my fault for telling him to get his fucking dog off my property. Well, you're pretty lit in that video. Yeah, he's on my property threatening me. You're damn right. I was pretty lit. You'd be pretty lit, especially if it's something you're already post-traumatic about, which is a dog owner threatening you for not trying to get attacked by his dog that he won't control, which literally was the hell I had been going through, trying to help protect my parents and then mother for the last 7 years. You're damn right. I was emotional. I still am. Wow. Fuck you. Fuck you. I still am when I think about it. It just, penis juice, it drives me insane. I wasn't ticky that day. I don't know why. Maybe it'd been just the amount of exhaustion I had. Maybe my body was just overloaded to the point where it just was numb. I don't know. I really wasn't ticky that day. But she's sitting there trying to tell me that you instigated it. You yelled first. It's like, first of all, I'm on my property and I yelled at him to get off my property. That's not instigating a fight. Second of all, I have brain issues where I can't control what I say fully. I'm going through testing for. And she cuts me off. Well, you're talking fine right now, so there's nothing wrong with you. This guy's on my property, threatening me, setting off my PTSD, and there's nothing wrong with me because I could talk clearly while I'm forcing myself to talk clearly to try to enunciate things, to explain to a cop why I feel unsafe. Wow, the victim blaming of this. It is so sick. And I did say a few things to that cop I shouldn't have. I said a few things to that cop that probably came off almost threatening the neighbor because I was so fucking pissed at what she was saying and doing to me. That she was blaming me for this guy threatening my safety and this guy letting his dog on my property and everything else. And so I told her, just fucking leave. You're useless anyways. You're not going to do anything to him coming on my property, threatening my life because I asked him to control his fucking dog. Then fucking leave. And yes, that is the words I used. I have no remorse for that. I was right. But this is so sick for so many reasons. And I had no recourse to protect myself because the cop didn't care. She wasn't listening, and she wasn't willing to believe that it's possible that I had these conditions. I had papers I could have shown her. I had documentation of what I've been dealing with mom's neighbor. I had documentation of my speech issues. She wouldn't even listen to it or let me try to show her the evidence. And I wasn't yelling. I wasn't screaming at her. I wasn't swearing at her. Until I said, you're useless. Just fucking leave. There's no point. I was so polite to this cop, and she did nothing but sit there and blame me for this guy doing this to me. I am literally this little disabled woman sitting in a car on her property trying to get a guy to stop threatening her life, and I'm being told it's my fault. Because how dare I tell the guy not to let his dog on my property and in my home? It's been a year and a half about since that happened. This actually happened about 2 weeks before everything that happened that made me diabetic, which is a whole other conversation that I will have on another video. But this was traumatic. This was so traumatic in so many ways. And it really, really started to cement me that I really had to get it documented, because I was tired of nobody listening to me, about nobody listening when I tell them I can't help what I say, of the people who would tell me that I would fake my spasms and my tics and my outbursts on air so I could get away with saying vulgar things. Which, that didn't stop. Those accusations never stopped. But yeah, I've had those accusations. I've had them multiple times, and I don't want to say this stuff. I don't want to have these experiences. The fact that people think that this is like something, pleasant for people like me. This is extremely uncomfortable. It is hard. It is emotional. I don't understand how people can diminish what this is. You just like swearing. It's like, not all versions of Tourette's even swear, but mine does. Fine. That doesn't mean I'm making it up so I can swear at people. Good God, I have free speech. I don't fucking care. If I'm going to swear at you, I'm going to swear at you. I don't need to sit here and say, oh, it's ticks. If I mean it, I'm not going to blame something else. I'm going to say it and look at you and go, and I mean that, bitch. That's me. I'm not going to sit here and make shit like this up just so I can what? These people are freaking loons. So I never did anything about that cop, and I should have. I should have lodged complaints. It's a year and a half ago. Technically, it's still in statute. I really don't want the fight, but I should have. But I was so worn out by people like her. And I was just so beat down by everybody who says, oh, you're just doing this for attention. That it's, fuck you. I'm not sorry. You're a bitch. That's not, ow. That it's not real. Because it's hard enough emotionally, physically, mentally, to go through these things, to go through spasms and tics and stuff, and basically hide yourself from the world most of your life because you're so afraid of what people are going to do to you. Just to have people basically say that it's your fault that it's being done to you. I can't anymore. I am so tired of it. I can't anymore. I had to get diagnosis because now I have full papers that I can use on anybody like that cop if they try to do that to me again. Now I have better defense for myself. And the fact that I had to put myself through diagnosis in order to not be told that I'm making it up when I'm trying very rationally to talk to the cop and explain to her, listen, I have brain issues. I can't filter what I'm saying properly, but I'm trying. I'm trying not to be bad. That's it. I have a right to swear on my own property, especially when somebody's dog is trying to go inside my home. And I am deadly allergic to dogs, and that's not a joke. And yeah, I had a right to be emotional at that. My saying fuck is not the problem. His letting his dog run loose is. So this is story one. There's going to be a few of these, and I am sorry ahead of time if these are a little hard to swallow because they're not pleasant stories. But, you know, people see like the video that Lynch posted last fall, and you see me laughing and giggling as I'm ticking and my friends being supportive. That is a part of life. But there's a much bigger part of life, which is everything you don't see before and after that. The physical and emotional struggles to deal with the crowds, to deal with the lights, to deal with the travel, to get to those places, to have that one bright moment when I'm already in sensory overload and ticking constantly anyways. Sorry. And you guys see ticking overload and having fun with it. And yeah, that does happen because I'd rather laugh when things are uncomfortable than cry. But you don't see the days of pain that go into before and after, anything like that, just to be able to even go. You don't see the struggles it causes. You don't understand the physical and emotional toll, that these kinds of conditions can cause. It's almost like you have blinders on and you think it's just cute and kitschy and fun and silly, and it's not. It's painful, it's stressful, it's emotional, it can put us in danger, it can make people a threat to our safety, it can do all kinds of things. And if you meet the wrong person who's in a position of authority, who's unwilling to hear you that you have these conditions, it can be life-threatening. It's all fun and games until you're the one going through it. It's not. It's a very rough life. And it is physically and emotionally exhausting. And I am grateful every day that I pushed to get my diagnosis, that I pushed to figure out what was going on with me, because I am so tired of the people who make me feel like I'm doing something wrong. Because I tick. So I will preference this with the same thing I've preferenced a lot of these speeches with. Love me, love my ticks. Have a good night, everybody.